Peace and love to one and all. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing good, or you are trying to do better within yourself. Because life could be very confusing. Especially growing up, feeling like you're in a strange place, and you see people around you that look like you, but they don't really act like you. But yet you're going to learn from them in order to grow and move forward in life. And during that journey, you learn some things that you realize as you get older may not be good habits to uphold. And then you're coming to a cognitive development within yourself as you get older as to what you are going to tolerate and what you're not. And it's probably not until if you are blessed to reach the age of 50 that you realize that, it's all about you. And if you're seeking for truth, you will know that it has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with your personal relationship with the divine essence within yourself. And if you have been privileged enough in your journey by now to have experienced such things as what we would probably say deja vu, or, you hearing instructions coming from within inside of yourself that is not coming from you. But if you haven't had these experiences, then what I'm saying will sound very foreign to you. But it doesn't mean that you are lesser of a person than someone who has experienced that. It's just that you may have experienced it and never really realized what it was, or didn't tune into it, or became afraid of it, or fearful, and you decided to turn it off. But in the comfort of recognizing something greater than yourself exists within, you know what I mean? Because you can go to church all day, every day, and like everybody says, only you can get yourself to heaven. You know what I mean? And giving your heart is not enough. We have to do better as a people. We have to do better for ourselves. We have to strive to improve on our dark qualities. Because in reality there is no such thing as good and evil in the essence of how we have been perceiving it. I would look at it more like light and dark. That there is light energy and there is dark energy. And in order to be in dark energy, you have to operate a certain way to exist or to survive in dark environments. And the light has to do what it's supposed to do within the light of itself. So, God gives us free will. So in that, you can do the dark or you can do the light. But on either side, there is a reaction to every action that you make. So, we can all see that if we've lived long enough and are paying attention. Because I'm sure anyone who is of Christian faith or of a religious faith would all be saying, woe is me, why, is God not come back to save us from all this dark energy? And what I would say to that is that will never happen. Why I say that is that if God gave us free will, then it's our choice to do what we do. So now, dark people choose to do dark things. And in that, they run business dark. They run their lives dark. They treat people dark. But guess what? They still run everything in the world. And us as a people who don't like it are not making that type of noise to make a difference or change or bring it to their attention that we are not happy. You know what I mean? And the small few who do end up being what? Killed. So collectively, we need to recognize that there's no such thing as religion, meaning that we shouldn't be separating ourselves because you're of this faith or that faith or blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, if we're all seeking the divineness within ourselves, we will be trying to do good. You know what I mean? So the reflection of the bad that runs the world does not exist. In the sense that that presence is knowing on the world stage, meaning that there are righteous people that are making an impact on life or the world that influences change. You know what I mean? Dark people have been influenced change since I was born. And every decade you see it getting more and more dark. As to now, we're into LGBTQ, we're into all types of drugs, you know what I mean? And we're still just following people. Instead of leading by our own example and recognizing who we are. And most people of melanated descendants, choose not to accept that they are gods. You know, because for me, it's very common sense, simple, in the sense of, not common sense, but simple in the way how I view things, right? If we are children of God, then how are we not rising up to be gods? It doesn't make sense. But yet when we do research and everybody say, well, man wrote this, man wrote that, yes they did, but in some sense, there is good and bad, or light and dark, in that knowledge, and you just have to vibrate or allow whatever you're trying to vibrate on, vibrate to you, as to what you may have to hold on to a little bit longer, and possibly do more research on. But at the end of the day, we have to seek for truth and understanding of who, you know, what's our purpose, who we are, what happens to us in a transition, you know, because we can't waste our time waiting to be saved when that's not going to happen, in the sense of you not saving yourself while you're here. You not doing what you're supposed to do while you're here. It's no different from the story in the Bible. I always wrote, not the whole, but the basis of this story. There's three men that God gave money to. And one man spent all his money and did whatever, went everywhere, traveled the world. God blessed him. Another guy ran, invested his money, you know what I mean, tripled his money or something like that. God blessed him. The other guy went and said, yeah, came and said, what you done with your money? He said, yeah, go, I saved this here. You gave it to me, so I said, I'll save it. Wait till you come back. And he got punished. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, what been put here, and if you felt like you're in a strange place, then that's a purpose for you to find out what it is and why am I here. You know what I mean? And in that, it should lead you to trying to do things of the light, which we would call righteousness, or being Christ-like. You know what I mean? But that's just something we have to make a decision as individuals that can come together collectively and seek for a clearer understanding. And it seems to be that people are starting to resonate towards that, because at first it seemed like, boy, ain't no good people around to even connect with, to do things, like, you know. And now you got one, two, small here, small there. that's coming up and showing that they do have the ability to be trustworthy, to be honest, to be sincere, to be genuine. You know what I mean? But none of us are perfect. We're all gonna make mistakes or be dark at some point in time. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make sense not to. It's just like if somebody came to take your life. You know what I mean? You're either gonna allow them to kill you, or you're gonna have to bring some darkness out of yourself to defend yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. You need darkness to defeat darkness, that's for sure. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of how much control you have of that darkness and not allowing it to overwhelm you and take control of you. Because you should always still be trying to subdue someone without having to take life, you know? Even in defending yourself. That would be the ultimate goal. But, you know, if you're not capable, at least you're capable of defending your life. You know, and the world is a big place. So if you're in a small environment, it might not make sense. But in a big environment, yeah, it's totally understandable because these things happen. And it's important to be aware of that and not live in an illusionary world like TV and think everything is, you know, pictures and cream. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's important to be in your reality, you know, whether you're outside or in your house. You know, it's important to travel to places that you've never been before, especially if you're any place you've traveled is in the western part of the world. You need to travel to the eastern part of the world to see that there is a difference of culture, of how people live, how things are done. You know what I mean? It's like going to Africa with a Western mentality and not really realizing culturally that things are different. Like just because you buy a piece of land doesn't mean all that land belongs to you. If there have been families that's ancestors have been planting on that land, like these are things you need to be aware of. And also you need to research and look in to the culture. You know what I mean? What's the culture? What you all do around here? Like some areas you can do things during certain days. So, you know, it's important to be open-minded in any environment you are in, no matter where you come from. You're still in a foreign land and not your own. So you have to deal with things accordingly and be respectful. But yeah, it's important for us to value life more, cherish each other more as times are getting harder and the world is getting smaller. And at this point in time, the light needs to stick together. And if you have turned your light off, you need to turn it on and start looking for the other lights around and keep moving forward. Yeah? So I'm hoping that these words are an inspiration to some, or whoever may be listening to these words, that it encourages you to keep moving on, keep going forward, to know that there are others like yourself out there. You know, and if you focus your energy on the right things, you will connect with those type of people. As time is coming, and that is happening more and more as it seems. Even though it's little by little, but it's still happening. So be safe, stay strong, and never give up. And nothing but love every time. Sila.